Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short dates. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou hourest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade. When in eternal lines to time thou grow'st, so long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. So this is Sonnet 18 by William Shakespeare. I was just reading through it again now. I was thinking it's sort of fitting in a way that, that I'm very visibly struggling. I thought, not just because the whole quest is to encourage people to not feel that they have to hide themselves, or that it is not okay to suffer, but one should not have to expend energy hiding their suffering. I thought it as part of the quest to encourage people to feel more comfortable showing how they're feeling rather than having to wear a mask all of the time. So that may naturally help with that particular quest. But also, William Shakespeare's works can be quite intense anyway. So, I will read it again at some point, I'm sure. But life and helping people isn't about simply expressing good emotions and showing what you look like on a slightly better day or whatnot. So I thought, no, this is reality is reality. Everything that exists. So this is me today. Why can I? I don't have to only read it and only upload it when I'm feeling a bit more in control of life. So, I was listening to the recording back, and I sounded even more tired than I did when I was actually reading it. I think it's important to encourage people to have the confidence and the security to enable them to feel able to express what they are feeling rather than some distant relative of what they are feeling, because only the distant relative would be socially acceptable, for instance. I want to encourage people to feel able to show their face, because there's so much work needed to be done, because at the moment it's not safe. People hide away for good reason. So people need to be encouraged to feel able to express themselves, but also the people who endanger us, the people who endanger us obviously need to be challenged. If you are uploading any kind of video yourself, for instance, and you're having a bad day, your video is not a sub video, a deformed video because you're having a bad day. Whatever your feelings, you are entitled to visit YouTube as much as anyone else is. You're entitled to go shopping as much as anyone else. You don't have to smile and be happy. Society says the complete opposite, of course, hence the problem. But somehow we have to start tackling this, and it's such a long, incredibly arduous journey, but we have to attempt it somehow. But there's so much incessant yabbering and abuse on YouTube, and obviously on the street as well, particularly on the YouTube street where messages are recorded, there's so much arrogance, people telling people to get off YouTube. Someone actually said that to me very directly. Something said indirectly, the fact that they're abusing you, was saying, oh, you don't deserve to be here, etc. But very directly, I said, oh, I apologise, I'm tired, I'm not sure what, maybe I've missed your point. And then he started laughing at me and saying, oh, you say you're tired. It was, social posturing. He was all about point scoring. I was trying to have a conversation with him, and he was just obsessed with point scoring. Oh, don't believe you, essentially, is what he's saying, because he just sees points in his head. Oh, he's making an excuse for not winning the conversations, though conversations are something you can win, or you're supposed to win. I was like, I don't know, but he was up to his neck in nonsense and saying, get off YouTube, get some sleep, not in a helpful way, but in a more abusive way. Don't do anything until you've had some sleep, and no thank you, no oh gosh, you're tired but you're still responding to me, just get off, go away, and you expect me to do your homework for you, he said as well. I thought, what? That doesn't make any sense. I didn't expect you to do anything. I was just no one ever has complete knowledge. So I was giving grade to you, so maybe I misunderstood your point, but as I understand it, you're not making sense, but maybe I'm too tired to focus and whatnot. And he tried to chuck me off of YouTube, so I then said, no thank you, I will leave YouTube when I feel like it. Then I thought, I'm going to get so much abuse, so I deleted the comments, otherwise I'm going to so yeah, I know how nasty it is on YouTube. Nasty. The more, I was saying this to someone else has been abusive. The more polite you are, the more people walk over you and act as though you've committed some great crime against them. I've noticed that. It's so fascinating, so unfair and pathetic. But it's so strangely fascinating how this happens. So it's not easy being on YouTube or anywhere. But you can do what you like. You don't. It's hard, people giving you so many different messages, pulling yourself one way, someone pulling you another way. But you shouldn't live your YouTube life for someone else, in a sense. Even if you have a company, a goal in mind, whatever. Those are the things that the core, the people you're doing it for, the causes you're doing it for. That's all that matters. At the other extreme end, where it's important, you've got to take other people's views into account. That's important, always putting other people first. But that doesn't mean you sacrifice yourself, put yourself on an altar. It doesn't mean if someone's abusive towards you, they're correct. The abusers are never correct. So you are entitled to be on YouTube, whether you're as exhausted as I am right now, or whether you're doing backflips, whether you're driving a tractor, live streaming, driving a tractor. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. We all are entitled to be on YouTube, as long as we're being fair and respectful. So don't, please do not ever feel that, and I know you will feel it at some point because of these people, but I'm just trying to challenge that view that that you're not welcome here, because you are welcome. You always are welcome. And you may say, how can I say that you're welcome? I'm not a king of YouTube. That's the point. There is no king of YouTube. It's, we all are equal. So one person on YouTube can tell you to get off of YouTube. Well, here's another person saying you can stay on YouTube. There's no dictator on you, or there should be no dictator. So. Yes, I was just randomly doing it, realising how tired I felt, and I thought, this is also a good opportunity to talk about the importance of being welcome on YouTube, regardless of how you're feeling. And I know the problems are pervasive all throughout the NHS, society as a whole. You got to wash and dress and do all of this day in, day out, and then do a million other things on top, and they don't understand why you have no energy, they don't understand what they're asking of you and things, and people don't understand how hard it is doing all of these things. But you know, whether you feel you have failed or you have not failed, whatever you're doing, it's not those specifics that matter. It's that you are welcome to use YouTube, whatever you're doing. That there's no logic in abuse. So there's no fairness. There's no fairness there. There's nothing to calculate. And we spend our whole lives calculating, trying to get into the minds of our abusers. But in terms of so we try to understand them, but in terms of their abuse being valid, their abuse is never valid. There's no angle you can approach where it will seem like there is, of course, because we're tricked into thinking like that, thinking, oh, you know what, they have a point, but no, they don't have a point. They're not speaking fairly to you. There is no point. You can visit YouTube. If you're wearing your pyjamas and you wish to film a video, you're just as entitled to as someone wearing a suit or whatnot. You can do what you want, so long as you aren't burning down Jaffa Cakes factories or plotting to kidnap Avril Lavigne or something. You can do what you like on YouTube, and that really needs to be said a lot, because we need that. People tend to say honesty. I think it's honesty in a way, but it's more accuracy, because people hide, people masking are not liars. They're not pathological liars. They're struggling to tell their truth. They're being ignored. They're being tricked into thinking something that's not true is true, and so forth. So there is no. We have to be careful not to appease abusers, and the great responsibility lies with the abusers themselves, but also with enablers. People enable people. Sit on the sidelines in a playground or the YouTube playground. The people who are watching and don't get involved. They need to start getting involved. Definitely, rather than leaving it to us, the victims, all the time. So you do feel welcome. Do feel welcome. Do feel welcome. Do feel welcome. You don't have to wear makeup or have a clear voice or have any voice. You can type with your keyboard. You can communicate with a musical instrument. You can do what you like. It's your YouTube to do what you want. And if you find anyone who says otherwise, then please send them to this video or another video. I'm sure other people are saying the same things. There's some other video where that view is challenged, and ultimately, and they'll cry foul, of course, but ultimately it's their fault when they get banned from YouTube. They've kicked themselves in a fitting sort of Greek tragedy twist. They're trying to push other people out, and of course they end up getting what they wish for other people. They'll end up being ostracised because they spent their life bullying people, and be welcome.